You are listening to the B.I.G Show with your hosts, Calvin and Garland. The B.I.G Show is a weekly breakdown of the sports world from a fan's perspective. Here are your hosts, Calvin and Garland.
It is the big show, and we're back on a normal weekend day. We got a Saturday evening. We're not doing a weekday, so we got a Saturday evening going on right now. We are live on YouTube at this very moment. You can hear us there. You can listen to us on all the podcast platforms. And if you have Spotify, you'll get to see us in our Dawn and Orioles City Connect hats, because the Friday nights are winning Friday nights now.
Right. Yeah. Y'all stop crying. Oh, I hate the City Connect uniform. They lose. They done won the last 3-4 games in the City Connect. Ain't nobody saying nothing.
Listen, I came front because you know how I thought the uniforms were fire, but I was like, they just need to stop winning. They was losing. They was losing. Yeah. Hey man, they was losing. You saw the shit.
What happened when they was losing in the white uniforms and then the orange uniforms?
Listen, they won over 100 games last year, and at least 95 of them were in the regular uniforms. What's going on, Garland?
Hey, bro, I'm feeling great, man. Hey, y'all need to give us an A for consistency. We have been consistent for a little bit over the last month of recording and all those things. We even had a show for last weekend. It was Memorial Day weekend, but we still recorded during the week to give you some content. I met a brother. I saw Robin. Her son is my godson, and Robin's been on our show. Robin Thomas, who's my cousin, and I was like,
shout out to Robin.
Shout out to Robin. We need to get Robin back. She was like, yeah, y'all don't want me no more. Whatever. I'm shining, y'all. Like, nah. But there was a guy named Ken Watts. Do you know a Ken Watts?
I've heard the name before, but I can't picture it.
He might be one of your Facebook friends. And he says, yeah, he was looking at me. He's like, is your name Garland? I said, yeah. He's like, I see you on Calvin's page.
Okay.
All things black. I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, snap. We got two fans now. Oh boy, this the second time I've been out in the world. I've been outside and somebody recognized me.
Yo, it's almost time for the scandals. We about to get some scandals going on, son. That's what make you popular, the scandals. Let me find out. We're gonna find some pictures of Garland in some compromising positions. You go a compromising position with a daggone beer or something. Let me find out, yo.
They know I drink at the church. They ain't worried about that.
They're gonna catch me in some pictures drinking some vodka, and then the wine community is gonna go crazy and shit.
Look at him drinking potatoes. He ain't drinking grapes. Yes. But yeah, he shouted us out, so I want to shout him out.
What's up, bro? Ken Watts? What you say his name was?
Ken Watts.
Let me see if I
can look him up.
I'm gonna check real quick right here and see if I can see.
I thought he might have knew me from Catholic school or something, because my godson graduated from Loyola Blakefield from the 8th grade. Congratulations to Robert.
Congratulations.
And, me and Paula went to the graduation with the godparents. And we were just on the field taking some pictures, laughing and joking. I'm talking to Robin. We talked about the NBA finals and what we were both thinking about. And he was like, yeah, excuse me, brother. Keep on doing what you're doing, brother. Keep on doing.
You got the who said they get that a lot? You got the Dominique Foxworth treatment.
Brother, you keep on doing what you do. I'm gonna have to look on me. It might not.
Yeah, I don't see nobody. I don't see nobody in my friends list named Ken Watts. But let me check the group page real quick and see if I can find a Ken Watts. Well, now you sure you got the right name?
I might not have the right name.
Nah, you done said the name wrong. Hey, if your name ain't Ken, what up anyway? Let Garland know what your name is.
Daryl Watts.
Oh yeah. Daryl Watts went to he went to school. We went to high school. He went to
Yes, I just found him. Daryl Watts. I apologize. Not Ken Watts. Daryl Watts.
Yeah,
excuse me, Daryl.
Yeah, Daryl, don't even sweat it. Get Garland old, Joe. Blame blame it on his heart. Blame it on the heart, not
Blame
the
it on
head.
my
Oh,
mind,
blame it
not
on
my
the
heart.
head. Yeah, blame it on the head, not the heart. That's what. Yeah, Daryl went to let me make sure. Yeah, Daryl went to City. Yeah. I know
It was
Daryl.
Daryl. So
Yeah, I know
you know,
Daryl.
go ahead, brother, keep doing what you doing, brother.
Well, shout out to my guy
good.
Daryl. City forever, my man.
Yeah, man. Boy, we got a lot of topics today. We're gonna get into some NFL, some basketball. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Looks like that fight's gonna be postponed. We're back with our top 10, Big Show top 10 and all. And so we did that a couple weeks ago. We're coming back with a new top 10 and a little come on Yobas. Let's go ahead and start off with some Major League Baseball. And Major League Baseball adds Negro League player stats to its historical record. And so following the 2020 announcement that 7 different Negro League leagues from 1920 through 1948 would be recognized as major leagues, MLB announced on Wednesday that it has followed the recommendation of the Independent National League Statistical Review Committee in absorbing the available Negro League numbers into the official historical record. As a result, Josh Gibson, the legendary catcher and power hitter who played for the Homestead Grays and Pittsburgh's Crawfords, is now Major League Baseball's all-time leader in batting average, slugging percentage, and on-base OPS, and holds the all-time single-season records in each of those categories. And so we know that America loves baseball. Baseball is as American as apple pie. We know that some white people lost their mind. They lost their stuff. But for the most part, it seems like the media, everybody's embracing it. And so what's your thoughts on this guy?
Yeah, I'm really disappointed in you white people because I was expecting y'all to really go off. Like, you all disappointed me. I was ready for the battle, and you whites just laid down and folded up. Yeah. Like, what in the hell? What in the supportive ass, unified ass country is going on right now? But man.
I was expecting them to go off and protest in front of the stadium.
Exactly.
Walking with tiki torches, talking about we're still here. And I did see some on Twitter. They did a little splash. Well, what about the Japanese leagues? Who's next? But for the most part, everybody's been like, okay.
Yeah, man. I mean, let us find out that the woke mafia is starting to take over the nation because
we taking over America's pastime.
Oh, my goodness. But no, man, it's actually a really good thing. And when you because even in the communities that do cherish baseball and what you would consider the old guard, they had their problems with people like Ty Cobb, who was a known flat out racist, and that starts to drop him out of the number one spot in some categories. And it's time the Negro Leagues got recognized. Now, what I will say is the Negro Leagues, when we were growing up, the Negro Leagues weren't recognized. But as we became young adults into our ages now, the Negro Leagues have really been getting a lot of attention and a lot of shine from Major League Baseball. So this isn't anything that should be a surprise. It's shocking. It's huge. And only reason I say it's shocking because it's something that I don't think any of us expected to ever happen. But the Negro Leagues have definitely been recognized. So, yeah, shout out to Major League Baseball. Shout out to the media that's embraced it. And you got to understand that, there's going to be some backlash. So I even understand the people that don't embrace it. Like, I'm not sitting here saying that everyone should be hunky-dory because there's some people that are going to feel offended. Some people that are going to feel like, hey, you taking over everything. And, not to be even more racist, but, if you're a white boy, you just like, listen, We don't have soccer.
Yeah, what else y'all
We
gonna
had baseball. We had golf, and then y'all got Tiger Woods. All we got now is hockey, and there's even some brothers taking over in hockey right now. So the white boys is out here losing now.
Well, they got baseball back. They got baseball.
They still got baseball.
They got to worry about the Latino brothers.
They got modern day baseball.
Yeah,
now add to that Donald Trump got convicted on 30-something charges, and boy, conservatism took a hit this week, son. Big hit.
Bro. Yeah, I think we've talked about records before, and I say that, should we count Babe Ruth's records or Ty Cobb's records because they played in a league that specifically banned black players. And so it was unbalanced even then. And so we accept those records, but maybe we shouldn't. And so I'm glad to see that debate of, okay, well, they were facing they wasn't facing superior players and all those things. Well, those in the major leagues wasn't facing the best players either, because we're not playing against all the races. And so I love this move. I think it's great. I'm glad that there has not been any, you haven't heard any of the major sports figures come out and talk about, oh, this is, because they always find one black guy who's going to come out, some old black retired Reggie Jackson went there because he a brother. But did you know he won at 42 when he went to the Yankees for Jackie Robinson, but they had already retired the number 42. So Jackie, he came up in, the era of Negro Leagues and stuff. But, they find some old conservative black player to come out and talk about, this ain't right. We need to earn this and all that stuff.
Or some weirdo like Carl Crawford who just talking out the side of his neck.
He need to worry about Meg Thee Stallion, because he owned the record label that Meg Thee Stallion. So he need to worry about Megan getting it.
Is he still? Wait a minute. Did he pay Evelyn Lozada her money? Didn't she sue him for the divorce or something? Something they had going on. I think it was Carl Crawford that he was with. I don't know if her last name is Lozada. One of the basketball wives, she went from
I know
Ocho Cinco and Carl Crawford.
Her coochie talking about
and her and Carl Crawford was engaged, and I just wow.
I didn't know that, but I know he beefing with Jay-Z because Rock Nation then came and like, Meg, come on over here with me and come over here with me and B.
It's the Rock.
Yeah. Just Blaze. So congratulations to Major League Baseball, major move, and now all they need to do is let Barry Bonds into the Hall of Fame.
And Pete Rose. Let's
go and get the others. Mark
McGwire. You might as well just let them all in. It was a time. It was a time in baseball. It was an era, and there are plenty of them that didn't get caught. Brady Anderson. There were plenty of them that didn't get caught. Right. So we might as well just go ahead
and all those people.
Let them all in. What's the Yankees coach name? Because he didn't get caught either, and he all of a sudden the Yankees head coach right now. I can't even remember his name.
Okay. Oh my God. Why is his name escaping me? Because his father played and his brother played.
But he one of them. He one of them too. There's a whole bunch of them in that era that didn't get caught. So just let them all in. Shit. They were Aaron Boone. They were all, when we were watching baseball in our 20s, they were all stars. They were superstars, like, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, the guy that died, Jason Giambi, all of those guys, they were stars. I mean, shoot, the game was going with them. So let them all in. Stop playing.
There we go. All right, let's talk a little NBA playoff recap. Calvin and our predictions in the Western Conference don't mean diddly squat because we didn't pick the right teams at all. The fifth seeded Dallas Mavericks, they beat the Timberwolves on Thursday night, a blowout to win the Western Conference Finals 4-1, and they punched their ticket to the NBA Finals. Early in the week, the 64-win Celtics completed a sweep of the Pacers behind a corner three from Derek White. And so this is the third Finals where the teams are being led by two black head coaches of both teams. Can you name at least one of the other two?
One of the other two full finals?
Yeah, there's been three teams, three NBA finals where both teams were led by black head coaches. Now, we have one this year with the Celtics and the Mavs. You have Jason Kidd and you have Joe Mazzulla. and you had two others.
Give me. I want to say Mike Brown was one when he was with Cleveland. But I cannot think of because I cannot think of who they played.
You kind of hot. That's all right. I'm gonna give you the answer.
Yeah, give me the answers.
Now I'm old enough to remember when the Golden State Warriors played the Washington Bullets in the NBA Finals in 1975, and
That's not even fair. That's not even fair.
Al Addles and Casey Jones were the coaches then.
I was going to say Casey Jones on one, but I only got Casey Jones with the Celtics. Yeah, I only got him with the
coach
Celtics.
of the Bullets before that, and you were close with Mike Brown, but he actually was coaching the Golden State Warriors when Steve Kerr's back was giving him problems. He couldn't coach that so it was Mike Brown for the Warriors and Tyronn Lue.
Yeah, I had Lue in my mind, but I was like, but Lue,
because you thinking Cleveland.
I wasn't thinking Lue at Cleveland. I had Lue over in the West on the West side.
But you were there. You were close. And so so Tyronn Lue and Mike Brown are the other two, and Alvin Addles and Casey Jones are the other two as well. Okay.
Nice piece of trivia.
Thank you. Will Boston capture its 18th championship and set an NBA record, or will Dallas lift the Larry O'Brien Trophy for the first time since 2011, when Jason Kidd, the coach, was a player and helped the Mavericks win their only title? And so, which one are you picking for this?
Yeah, man, this is tough because although everybody expected the Celtics to go through the East as they did, they're going up against a Luka that is a dog right now. Like, I think a lot of us didn't give Luka the credit that he deserved, and he went through these playoffs like a dog. And you got Kyrie in these games against Minnesota. Kyrie really showed up. You got that guard play against the guard play of Jaylen Brown. And why do I always forget light-skin's name?
Jason Tatum.
What's his name's boyfriend?
Derek White is another light skin on there too. So
what's his name? What's his name's boyfriend? Ella May's man.
That's
Ella
right.
May's boot up. I don't listen right now. I would actually have to take Luka and Kyrie over those two. It even may come down to coaching. But now I will say, and I told you this earlier in the season, you were like, it ain't gonna make a difference. If somehow Porzingis can get healthy, I'm taking the Celtics. Porzingis, you don't give Porzingis enough credit. Porzingis
he's an injured unicorn.
Yeah, man.
But
when he plays, they are a totally different team. They dominated the season because he was in there with them. He wasn't the catalyst, but because of the way he can play, the stretch and everything, they dominated the season. Now they didn't struggle in the playoffs, so he was out of the playoffs, so it wasn't like they struggled. But I think adding him in there, I would definitely give it to the Celtics. Right now, I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Jason Kidd and the Mavericks.
All right. I like that pick.
I got Kyrie winning his second ring.
All right. I think, Kyrie had to come back and show us. I think we kind of forgot in all the Semitism and the COVID denying and vaccine denying that he was doing that. This is one of the best players in the NBA, and especially one of the best closers, one of the best individual players in the NBA. And he kind of had to show us who he was, that he had not left. I think because he's in Dallas and Luka is the main source there, we kind of like, he's a second banana now. But
he's really a great second banana. That's the thing. He's
great, yeah. And he showed it. He had to come back and show us that, I still got the handles. I still can make these shots. I'm still creative around the rim. And I agree with what you said about Luka. I always think that this series is going to come down to the intangibles, just like I thought about Denver against Minnesota. I think Denver's role players that didn't play that great outside of Aaron Gordon, the rest of the team were kind of sketchy. They were up and down. Minnesota, they were just hitting on all cylinders with their role players, in addition to Ant-Man. And, he did get some sufficient support out of Cat. And so that was enough to keep them going. And they just ran into a buzzsaw of two isolation players, and they were able to get the best of them. I think that's going to, I think I like the guard. Oh my God! Well, I won't forget Boston's guard. He came from Milwaukee.
Drew
Yeah,
Holiday.
I like Drew Holiday, and he's a great defensive player. I think they have two great defensive guards with Derek White and Drew Holiday. Maybe that can kind of slow Kyrie down. I don't think you can slow Luka down. Luka's going to get his points, but Holiday is a very super solid defender, and so is White. And so I can see them getting a lot of time on Kyrie. Maybe that might negate some of his impact. If Porzingis comes back, he can add a little bit more to the mix. I'm still going to go with Boston on this one. I just think their firepower, I think, they have a lot of players who could give you points. Holiday, White, in addition to Tatum and Brown. If they get Porzingis back, that's a plus. And I think it spreads the floor for them and they can do a little bit more. But I think it's going to be tight. I mean, this could probably go 7.
Yeah, I'm actually interested in this finals. And generally with the finals, with NBA finals, if my team isn't in it or one of the quote unquote super duper stars aren't in it, I'm usually not watching. But Luka has proven that he is a super duper star. I mean, he talks that trash too, man. Yeah. You see that interview? He talked about how they put Gobert on him. He was like, I put him in the blender.
Yeah, I put him in the blender. I know I'm faster than him.
Spun him around and just hit it in his mouth.
Right. I put my thing in his mouth.
I still got Dallas. I'm taking the Jason Kidd factor in there anyway. Okay. So I'm gonna take Dallas on this.
All right, and so I'll take the Celtics on this one, and the series starts on Thursday.
The 6th, yeah, whatever the 6th, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mike Brown. Speaking of Mike Brown, he just inked the extension with the Sacramento Kings, $5.8 million per year. Congratulations to him. But one thing I was on Twitter or X. I'm never gonna call it X. I was on Twitter.
Never gonna call it X.
I ain't gonna call it. I was on Twitter.
His mama named it Twitter. I'm gonna call it Twitter.
I was on the Bird app this morning, and Gilbert Arenas was in my timeline. And so on a recent episode of his web show, Gil's Arena, there was a discussion with the group about what generational NBA talent is or what generational NBA players they are. And so Arenas stated that Steph Curry is not a generational talent. He said generational means you can't mimic it. You can't mimic LeBron James. You can't mimic Victor Wembanyama. You can't mimic Magic. And so he goes on to state that you can mimic what Steph Curry did. And so that means that Steph Curry is not a generational talent. Let's go ahead and just stomp on Gilbert on this. And so what's your thoughts about what Gilbert said?
So I saw that also, and I tried to listen to what he was saying, and I think I understand where he was trying to go. I just don't think he expressed it correctly. So I think what Gilbert is trying to say is a generational talent isn't the talent. It's the physical build and the position, because he mentioned, can you mimic a 6'3" guard like Magic Johnson that can see the court for, I think it was 6, I don't even know how tall Magic was.
6'9".
6'9" guard that can see the court like Magic. Right. Can you mimic a LeBron James that can play all 4 positions at his size and play it well and guard all 4 positions? Because as soon as he mentioned Victor Wembanyama, I was like, well, wait a minute. Well, he's only been rookie of the year, so how do you put him in? He's talking about his size and his talent. So if you're looking at that, okay, because he even said Jokic is not a generational talent. He's a great player. So when he talked about that, I was like, I kind of see what you're saying, but the way you're wording it is that you can mimic this and you can mimic that. do you just mean that you can mimic the size and the position? Because if you can mimic Steph Curry and you can mimic Jokic, then why haven't they? Like they literally have not. Steph Curry is the greatest 3-point shooter ever in the game. No one's can mimic that. Jokic, you can't mimic that.
Game
Exactly. So I think I understand what Gilbert is saying, but I think he's worded it wrong, and he's just being, how can I put this? He's just spitting out stuff without actually knowing what he's saying. It's sometimes it's just like he says stuff for clicks. Like, come on. Because the way we all define generational talent is that guy is the greatest in the generation right now. Steph Curry is the greatest 3-point shooter in the generation right now. Victor Wembanyama shouldn't even be in a conversation of generational talent. They can say he's probably a generational talent, but he shouldn't be in the conversation. Jokic is a generational talent. Like, I mean, the dude can run the court. We know LeBron is.
He can drive with the
we
ball.
know Magic is. Yeah, it's like, come on. You stretching your definitions. I'll just put it that way.
All right, to take that definition, because I thought about that too, and I think that's where he was going. But even if you take it in the physicality of a Steph Curry, he is a generational talent in that he's made the 6'2", 6'3" guard significant.
Small guard at that.
Small guard significant.
Small in stature, not position, but small in stature.
But small in stature. And so if we're applying that physicality standard to what a generational player is, there are not a lot of 6'2", 6'3" guys that can shoot like him.
Well, I'm not even going to say there's not a lot. I'm going to go out and say there's none.
Yeah, I agree with
there's
you.
None.
Not with the accuracy, not with the level that he's played. There are not a lot of guards of that size and that stature that have ever played on the same level that he has played. So yes, that makes him a generational talent. Okay.
And not just shooting, because anybody can get in the gym and shoot, but the big shots he's made, the clutch shots he's made.
And it's crazy about his game is not only was he just very proficient from three, but this is a guy that drives a lot. So his slash numbers are outstanding because he was not just resting on the three, but he's using the three to create other shots. And so it's not a lot. You don't have any. I'm sorry. Let me stop saying it's not a lot. You don't have any other players of that size doing that in the game today. That they are a player you have to plan around. Okay, he's unstoppable in a lot of aspects. You have to pick him up the whole 94.
He literally won a ring 2 years ago, and it was literally on him. It was on him.
No KD, a half of Clay, and non-shooting Draymond.
It was. We're talking 2 years ago. This year is the first year
dominated the finals.
This year is the first year his team didn't even get past the first round of the playoffs. It didn't get to the first round of the playoffs. Come on, Gilbert. Come on, Gilbert.
Well, let's not forget last year he put up a 50 burger in a game 7 to get to the Western Conference semis. And so come on,
Gilbert.
Let's stop with that now. So, Gilbert Arenas, boy.
Gilbert Arenas is the first guy to get a "come on, yo" in the middle of the podcast. Come on, yo. Come on, yo.
It's like he's got this hater. Now, some things that he says, okay, like the handles, like the other night I was up and I happened to be flipping channels and I came across NBA TV and they were showing the NBA finals from 1977. Bill Walton just passed away. So they were showing the Portland Trailblazers against the Philadelphia 76ers. That's when they had Dr. J had a Bush and they had George McGinnis. Doug Collins was playing, all these people. Kobe Bryant's father is on the Sixers, as a matter of fact. He was on that team. And none of those guys could dribble with their left hand. Everybody was just dribbling with their right hand going right. It wasn't a lot of, extra pity pat, wasn't no between the legs, behind the back, it was just straight pound the ball, get to the basket. And yeah, it makes you think like, okay, could they play in today's game like that? Probably not, because we have so much skill development that a lot of your big men can dribble like a guard or can play like a
Mm-hmm.
guard. And so, you know, but yeah, I mean, I understand that. But when he starts going, because even in this generational thing that he was talking about, he said that Pat Riley was overrated because Pat Riley only coached generational players. So he only reason why he won is because he had Magic and Kareem when he was in LA. Then he went to New York. He didn't do too much, but he won there because he had Pat Ewing, who's a generational player. But then he went to Miami. He had Wade, and he had kind of like a on his way to being washed up Shaq. He won with them, and then of course as general manager, he won with LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh. And so he's overrated because he couldn't do it without generational players.
But he was the general manager that got LeBron and Bosh to the team. Like he did his job.
Yeah,
I
he's overrated. He's not a generational coach.
I wonder if he calls Michael Jordan a generational talent, because in my mind, Kobe Bean Bryant mimicked Michael Jordan. I mean, and
half
so
most of the league did after, and
if you having this discussion, then you calling Michael Jordan, he can't be a generational talent, because if Kobe mimicked them, and Kobe got 5 rings, Mike got 6, but Kobe got 5. So Michael Jordan ain't a generational talent. Come on, Gilbert. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, Gilbert.
Hey man, the NFL, the NFLPA, they're proposing the elimination of OTAs. They're going to propose the total elimination of voluntary spring workouts and OTAs in favor of a longer training camp with players reporting in mid-June to early July. Would this be a wise move by the players in the league?
So it'll definitely stop these speculations of,
I don't know what the media would do.
He wasn't at practice today, right. and it'll definitely stop that. Well, it was a voluntary prayer. Oh, okay. Right. Well, we didn't see him.
Asked Harbaugh last week. Harbaugh, I mean, how do you feel about Lamar not being here? I mean, he only came for 1 week. He's like, we don't talk about that.
It's voluntary. It's voluntary. But now I do think if they do open training camp up to be longer, they're going to have to drop another preseason game. Like,
Roger Goodell wants to go to 18 games. That's kind of like what he's been floating. And so if they go to 18 games, they lose another preseason game, then that boils you down to just 2. I think it makes sense.
It makes sense, and if you're I'll say any team. The Bengals saw it last year. Of course, the Ravens saw it the 2 previous years. It opens up your players to injuries. Anytime that they're on the field, it's opening them up to injuries, and injuries are not will it happen. It's just when it's going to happen. So you want to make sure that you're doing everything you can to subside the injury. So if you're going to make training camp longer, then you got to cut something somewhere. You know what I mean? You got to do something to protect the players more. So I don't really have a problem with it. Because if you're a fan like we are, you want to see Lamar throwing to Rashad Bateman. Like, you want them to get that chemistry now. Let's get to it now. So I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, and they're still going to get the classroom learning. I mean, the way that these guys, once they get drafted, man, they got them on the iPads. They have the playbooks. They're getting, now we can do stuff by internet. We're using video conferencing, all of those things. And so there's still the opportunity to train players on plays, on systems, all of those particular things. And they're not getting full reps in these OTAs. They're going very light. You don't have a full team there. And so it's not like they're getting real game reps against the top competition on the team. And so I think overall, it just makes more sense to do it that way. And yeah, I agree with you. It just, hopefully it'll cut down on the preseason injuries. You always get these, they tore the ACL in camp, or they did this in camp, and
after you remember after the Ravens' first Super Bowl, the hopes was dashed when Kelly Gregg fell into Jamal Lewis in practice. Yeah, so
yeah, we was all thinking repeat, and they had to go out and get some people off the
got them out the streets, man.
Off the streets. Oh my God, they got the former running back for Minnesota.
Yeah,
I can't remember. He was a bum. Oh God.
They had running back by committee.
Right. Terry Allen.
Terry Allen. That's
Terry Allen. They went and had to get Terry Allen.
Yeah, man. They won the Hard Knocks that year. That was the first year Hard Knocks. First season of Hard Knocks. Yeah, and they actually made the playoffs. They made the playoffs that year. So just
crying Elvis Grbac on the sideline and stuff.
Which I still think is the worst. Just gosh.
Hey man, they went for it all. To me, I told you one time I happened to be flipping channels again and came across NFL Network. They were playing the Ravens Giants Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer was horrible. He missed at least 3 touchdown passes in that game.
So
what? He was all he was good for was turning around and handing that ball off to Jamal Lewis.
Nah, he hit what's his name in that game?
Brandon Stokely. That's the only one that he connected.
The AFC Championship game, he hit Shannon on the slant. Shannon took that motherfucker. Come on. Hey, listen.
The Raiders couldn't tackle.
Listen.
This man, he missed at least 3 touchdown passes in that game.
I'm not Trent Dilfer for the Hall of Fame or anything, but when you say his name, just remember to say Super Bowl champion Trent Dilfer, who actually went to Disneyland because they couldn't have Ray Lewis going to Disneyland, who actually went to Disneyland that year. Couldn't pass the ball. Just say that. Just put Super Bowl champion in front of his name.
Defense. Thank God for that defense and that run offense, because Trent Dilfer was horrible.
Didn't they go like 6 games without scoring a touchdown? If we didn't have Matt Stover, we would have been in trouble.
Thank God for Matt Stover and that defense. It should have been no way they should have won that Super Bowl. Now, speaking of Hard Knocks, the Bears have been selected for this season's Hard Knocks. So, any thoughts or reactions to that?
Yeah, good for Chicago. They got their rookie quarterback. They got a revamped wide receiver crew. Good for Hard Knocks. It should actually be a good watch. I'm not going to watch it because it ain't my team in there.
Right. Yeah, so they're staying in the NFC Central because last year was Detroit was the Hard Knocks team, and so that's good. Yeah, good for them. I think the Ravens have run away from it, but every team is supposed to get an opportunity to be on the Hard Knocks show, and so I think eventually it's going to cycle around.
Well, until it's been 32 years, the Ravens were the first year. So how many years has it been?
It's been a long time.
It ain't been 32. Ravens won the Super Bowl in what, 2000? That was 2001, 2002, 2001. Yeah. 2000. So in 2033, then maybe the Ravens will get it again. They were actually in talks to getting it when one of the seasons they finished in last place because they like to take the teams that are at the bottom to do that. But they got, I forgot who got that.
Was that the year they wore the gold pants when Flacco got hurt that year? You remember that? It was some rough times. It was a year, yeah. That next year they didn't make the playoffs. So yeah, I think it was that year Flacco, because Flacco did get hurt.
He got hurt. We were at a game and we were playing the Steelers, and the Steelers were winning. The Ravens came back and won that game with the backup quarterback, and it was a Steelers fan sitting in there with us talking all this shit, and he ain't had shit. He wanted to fight when it was over because people were like, "Where's all your fucking mouth now?" We were getting in his ass because he was talking a lot of shit.
They always do. And I want to see the Ravens bring back the gold pants. They didn't have the right combination. They had the gold pants with the purple jersey. They need to have the gold pants with either the white jersey or just the white jersey. Don't do the purple jersey.
I don't care if they wear peach polka dot print pants. Bring back the gold trophy. Give me the damn trophy.
The Lombardi is not
exactly. Shit. What color is the Lombardi? It's not gold.
It looked like it's stainless. I don't know.
I don't give a damn what it is. Bring that. Bring me that. I don't give a fuck what y'all wear. Ravens.
Some people do though, Calvin, just like these City Connect uniforms. And so you
care about that shit.
Well, they wearing those pants. Oh my God, they never winning those things. Calvin Coates. The Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight has been postponed. Mike Tyson's been having some medical issues, ulcers, and as a matter of fact, he was on a flight last week and had to be pulled off a flight to be treated, and so that fight is going to be postponed. They haven't come up with a new date for it yet, and so I know
it's supposed to come out this week with a date. They said they would come out this week
because that was going to be on Netflix, right? That was going to be live.
Still
on
is
Netflix.
Still supposed to be on Netflix.
Okay, so we're going to see what happens. Because Netflix is getting into live sports, and so I'm sure people are waiting with bated anticipation for that fight to happen again, because they wanted to see Jake Paul get beat up, and now they won't be. It has to wait now. So hopefully, Tyson will heal and he'll come on back. All right, man. So that takes us to something that we just started. We love to do is called our Big Show Top 10. And so our Big Show Top 10 this week is most hated athletes. And so let's go ahead, Calvin. You start us off. Do we want to do 1 and 1?
Yeah, let's do 1 and 1. Let's do 1 and 1. Let's do 1 and 1. So we wanted to do top 10. We both picked 10 because they might be repeated because we Baltimore fans. So, oh, you only pick 5? Well, then so. No worries. I'll throw out my 10. But let's do it.
I was supposed to pick 5. You pick 5, but it's all good.
No worries. My first one is a guy that we just mentioned, Jake Paul. I can't stand this mother. He's Jake Paul? No, I don't like Jake Paul. First, okay, let me. Boxing is an art. Now, I'm not a boxing connoisseur. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a boxing historian, a boxing connoisseur, but I do realize what it takes to be a boxer. It takes more than just strength. It takes stamina. It takes training. You have to have the mental aspect. You have to have the hunger. You have to have no fear. And Jake Paul just treats it as a mockery. He started off fighting these guys that probably me and Garland could beat up, just then he did fight Floyd. He did go fight Floyd, but for Floyd, it was just really like a money grab. Now I will say, I do believe Jake Paul has gotten better in the craft. But I still can't stand him. He's one of those, I'll just say I can't stand Jake Paul. That's my first guy, Jake Paul. I can't stand his ass.
This is not going to be a popular opinion, and I might get beat up for this. Michael Jordan.
I hope Katina ain't watching this on YouTube. That is her favorite athlete of all time. Oh my God. Explain yourself, sir. Explain yourself.
As a young boy growing up in Maryland, I hated the University of North Carolina. I hated the Tar Heels. They always beat my Terps. I don't care. Well, Lefty Driesell wasn't a great coach anyway, but he had all the best players. He couldn't coach out of his way out of a wet paper bag. But those Jordan teams always seemed to beat my Maryland teams who had better players. And I just hated Jordan from North Carolina. When he got in the pros, I was like, I was a Lakers fan. And, it was kind of like the end of the Kareem era. And he still had Magic and Worthy there. But, once they started winning and it became, Jordan all the time. Jordan's the greatest. Jordan's done this. Jordan's done that. I have to admit, I'm not a big Jordan fan. I'm not a worshiper at the feet of Jordan. I love his tennis shoes, which are super expensive. I think, he's a man that's made billions of dollars, but was really silent on a lot of black issues at the time. When they tried to get him to support someone to run against, I don't think it was Strom Thurmond, but it was another racist person down in Jesse Helms. Yeah, it was Jesse Helms. And he said, well, hey, Republicans buy tennis shoes too, and
I say that.
fuck them kids. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. That's basically what he said. That's Michael
He did
Jordan.
not say either one of those,
bro. They asked. Yes, he did. They asked him to support the black candidate, and he said Republicans buy shoes too. And so he's just always been for a guy that's had this power. And I'm coming out of the era of the Muhammad Ali's and the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's, where the sports figures were also political figures, and you had the biggest sports figure of that time, and he was apolitical. And so when they played in the finals against the Lakers, I wanted the Lakers to win. When they played in the finals against the Trailblazers, I wanted the Trailblazers to win. When they played, whoever they played in the final, I was always for the other team. And so,
I wish you all, if you're not watching, I wish you could see the shock on my face. Now, I was with him when he said the North Carolina Tar Heel Jordan, because I actually have a guy on here because of my Maryland Terps. So I was with him there. When he got to the NBA, let me tell you where Garland lost me. And I'm going to go on to mine, but let me tell you where Garland lost me.
What?
Garland lost me first when he said I was a Lakers fan. If you have been listening to this podcast, Garland just kills me in the Lakers. I don't know when he stopped being a Lakers fan. It sounded like when Kareem.
The Showtime Lakers. I was with the Showtime Lakers.
Listen, once a Laker, always a Laker. But clearly, Garland does not believe in that. No, but I'm a
Showtime Laker.
I can even let that go now. And I was with Garland. I'm with him when he go after his career is over, and how he may not necessarily support some of the causes that you would want a popular, prominent black athlete to support. But let me tell you where else Garland get me. So Garland don't like Michael Jordan. Ladies and gentlemen, do you realize we have only started this podcast because Garland called me and said the Last Dance Jordan series is on. Do you want to begin doing some of that, some reviews of that? That's how we started. If it wasn't for Michael Jordan, me and Garland would both be sitting Saturday somewhere with our stomachs out, eating some donuts, talking to our wives.
If it wasn't for COVID, we would be somewhere. COVID make you do the stuff. It was like, if we got to be stuck in this house for the next 10 years, because that's the direction it was heading in. We need to do something.
I am shocked that Garland has Michael Jordan as one of his most hated athletes.
I love that movie as well. I thought it was a great documentary. But no.
Well, I got a shocker on my list too, but I'm going to hold him off. And I'm going to go with you on defending my Maryland Terps. I absolutely hated J.J. Redick when he was a Duke Blue Devil. All he did was bang my Maryland Terps on them threes. There was a game where he hit so many threes, they fouled him on a layup, and you could read his mouth talking to the Terps fans in College Park saying, they can't fuck with me. And I knew right then and there, I said, boy, oh my God, I never wished injury on the player as much as I wished on J.J. Redick. Now, when he got into the NBA, I didn't give a damn about him at all. But J.J. Redick as a Duke Blue Devil is one of my most hated athletes.
Okay. Hines Ward. Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Hines Ward. I hated Hines Ward something horrible. I mean, because he was dirty, but he played right along that gray line of dirty and clean. He always just after he blindside you, he would get up smiling, and oh my God. But you know what? If he played for the Ravens, I would have loved Hines Ward. But because he played for Pittsburgh and he took so many cheap shots on Ed Reed and Ray Lewis and others, I'll never forget. This was kind of like the Ravens were real good one season, and I think they played him like the opening game, and it was here in Baltimore, and he was coming across the middle for a pass, and Double J was playing outside linebacker, Johnson, the white guy, and
Jared
Johnson, and he knocked the pee out of Hines Ward on that crossing pattern. Man, I jumped up, I screamed. Yeah, Hines Ward. Hines Ward. He said when he came to Baltimore, he would not eat the food in the hotel, anything like that, because he was scared. He knew that Baltimore residents and fans hated him so much that he was always concerned about his safety when he was in Baltimore. So yeah, Hines Ward.
When Hines Ward was a commentator, his first year as a commentator, they gave him a game in Baltimore, and he actually got on the air and said, as soon as I walked in, they were cussing me out, and he said, I don't even play anymore. It was almost like he was sad that he was hated. Sir, you knew why you were hated. But my next player is actually right in the realm of what you said, Garland, and I had to take the whole Pittsburgh Steelers receiving core, starting with Santonio Holmes to Plaxico Burress to Hines Ward, Antoine Randall L, Antonio Brown, all you motherfuckers. It seemed like any ball that's even up to today, to now, any ball that's put in the air to a Pittsburgh Steelers receiver, they catch it. Any ball. I think they catch more crazy balls than they drop. I have never seen anything like that before in my life. The whole Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiving core, fuck all y'all. I don't give a damn. Fuck all of y'all. I hate them. I hate them all. And Ben Roethlisberger, fuck you too, just for good measure. Fuck you too. I'm gonna add him into that because he part of receiving core because he threw most of them goddamn balls. Fuck you.
Okay. Tell them how you feel.
I can't stand them. I can't stand them, bro. Bro, I can't stand them. Santonio Holmes, they won that Super Bowl because that motherfucking Santonio Holmes caught that ball going away against the Cardinals that Roethlisberger just threw off his back. Oh my God. Probably the greatest catch I've seen in Super Bowl history, and I hated every second of that shit.
And when they came to Baltimore, I went to a lot of those games, and they would be breaking your heart. Hey, speaking about receivers, Terrell Owens.
Really?
Yeah, I hated T.O. And I hated T.O. because of what he did to Baltimore. Now, if some of you fans may not remember this, the Ravens had made a trade with the 49ers to bring T.O. to Baltimore. Well, what happened was T.O. had not signed his contract, or he was firing his manager. Something happened. He was firing either his agent, and something was not signed. And so because it was not signed, he had the right to veto the trade because he had worked out a trade to go to Philadelphia instead for more money. And so he went back and voided the trade and went to Philly. As a matter of fact, he was saying, Ozzie Newsome talking about, hey, brother, we're going to take care of you here. Like, talking to me like a black man. I should come in because he a black man. So he sold Ozzie out. He put Ozzie on blast and then went to Philly. And Philly, where the rest what happened with him and Donovan McNabb and all those things. And so, yeah.
That's same year.
Terrell Owens.
That same year they came to Baltimore and he caught a touchdown pass and did the Ray Lewis dance.
No, they played them in Philly.
No, you should know. I think that was in Baltimore. I'm almost certain that was in Baltimore because I remember thinking to myself, somebody should run on that field and knock his ass out. Now, I don't hate T.O. And his career in Philadelphia ended the way it should with him and Donovan McNabb still not friends and talking trash shit about each other. He did get real brave in that Super Bowl. They didn't win, but he did play with his broken ankle. But yeah, I don't hate T.O. But I do hate.
Yeah, no, it was played in Philly.
Okay. Yeah. I do hate Larry motherfucking Bird. Let me tell you something.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you.
Larry Bird. I love Larry Bird.
First of all, as a Lakers fan, a true Lakers fan, I hate everything Celtic. I hate everything green leprechaun. I even hate Lucky Charms. So let's just start there. let's just start there.
Here we get down with Lucky Charms.
No, fuck that nasty ass cereal. Let me tell you something. Larry Bird was such a motherfucking killer assassin, not with just the Lakers, but with everybody. If you watch highlights of Larry Bird, and now they starting to show the highlights where he dunking and he's starting to go under the board in one hand and on alley-ooping it. Man, I couldn't stand Larry Bird back then. I had all the respect for him back then. I'm not even going to lie. I knew he was a killer. My hate for him wasn't the vitriol that I have for the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receivers. My hate for him was just because he was a killer and he assassinated my favorite teams, my Lakers, my Pistons, my Hawks, my Bulls. He just killed them all. I could not stand Larry Bird's ass. As a grown man now, I can do nothing but respect him, and admittedly will say y'all don't give Larry Bird enough credit for being the killer. Y'all like to talk about how he was one of the greatest white boys ever. First of all, he wasn't one of the greatest white boys ever. He was the greatest white boy basketball player ever. Secondly, y'all don't give him enough credit for just being an assassin in basketball. Larry Bird is easily top 10 player of all time. Easily. Top 10 player of all time. But Larry Bird, I couldn't stand your ass. And I still kind of hate you, too. Still kind of hate you.
On my list, Derek Jeter.
Yeah,
now, Derek Jeter, to me, if you want to talk about generational talents and people being overrated, Derek Jeter, to me, is the most overrated shortstop to ever play the game. He only gets the pub that he gets because he played in the Mecca. He played in New York. That's why, he's hailed as one of the greatest shortstops ever. He was not a big hitter. His glove was a little shaky, but the fact that he played in New York is really what put him over. And he just always beat your team. He was just always in the mix. Oh my God, come on. What happened with the kid in right field? As Oriole fans, we remember this.
Jeffrey Mayer,
right field, ACLS, ball hit out the right field.
Tony Tarasco
under it, about to catch this thing at the fence. Jeffrey Mayer leads over the fence and it catches the ball, but they counted as a home run. We didn't have instant replay then that was used in games. Then Jeter came up. I think we was able to tie it or something. And Jeter came. No, it was Jeter's ball. That was whose ball was hit. It was Jeter's ball. Oh gosh. Yeah, he was horrible in management with the Florida Marlins. I think he was overrated as a player, but because I always used to joke he ain't a real brother. That's what that's what Gary Sheffield said. Gary Sheffield said he ain't a real brother like us. But Derek Jeter.
Man, Derek Jeter is one of the greatest pimps in all of New York.
Right, he had you sign an NDA.
Yeah, he give him a little basket.
Swag bag.
Yo,
I ain't mad at him.
Derek Jeter changed the game.
And all that, he changed the game. He was good with his and whatnot. But I mean, there was a baseball player. I hated him.
There's a guy that has a story out on TikTok talking about how Derek Jeter took his woman at a restaurant. They were at a restaurant. Wow. Derek Jeter saw his girl, went over, said a couple things to her, and left. Derek Jeter paid his bill and apologized, but took his woman. Took his woman from him.
See, that's enough. That's a player hater enough. That's enough to hate him right there. You hating on the game.
Why you hating on him? Hate on the girl. She the one that left with him.
Nah, yo. Get out of here with that mess.
Yo, my next guy, and this is terrible. This is terrible of me. And this is terrible. I hate Emmitt Smith. And I only hate Emmitt Smith.
Wow. Emmitt Smith?
Yes, sir. I only hate Emmitt Smith because I did not like the way his high top was cut.
What?
He always had
the ball joint on the side and
it was just
faded in.
It wasn't faded in, yo. I couldn't stand Emmitt Smith. Every time I saw him with that shit, I would be like, yo, I hate Emmitt Smith, yo. I hate Emmitt Smith.
What they wearing down there? It's like somebody took a bowl and just cut around
I
the
don't
bowl.
get. I hated that little dumbass high top here. I hated when he broke the rushing record. I was like, yo, fuck Evan Smith, yo. I hate it. Now he bald, and I'm like,
Right.
that's what you get. That's what you get for when that little dumbass high top. That's the only reason I hate Evan Smith.
That's a shame because his barber ain't know what he was doing on the fade.
Yo, Evan Smith is one of Jay's guys, yo. Yo, my bad, Jay, but I can't stand your little dumbass high top fade having ass homeboy.
Did Jay have a picture with a haircut like that? In one of the pictures he shot?
I don't think so. I hope not.
Jay, don't come for me, okay? Oh my God. Now you took a whole city. You took a whole team. I'm gonna take a whole city. Any New York City sports team, I hate it. I hate the Yankees. I hate the Knicks. I hate the Giants. I hate them. I don't nobody care about hockey. I hate the Jets. I hate them.
The Rangers about to make the they got to win.
Nobody care about hockey. Nobody care about hockey.
What about the Liberty, the WNBA team, the Liberty? What about the Liberty? You hate them too?
I hate them. Yes, I hate them too. Them too. I'm a Las Vegas Aces fan. I don't like the New York Liberty. I don't like Inescu. I don't like Stewie.
Garland over here playing Tupac. Hit him up, Garland. Like, fuck New York.
Right.
Fuck the city. Fuck the crew. Fuck New York as a city.
Right.
Label.
That's how I'm feeling right now. And I tell you why. Well, not only, growing up as a kid, as a fan, New York is just the center of the universe. And so, the Yankees, they had the Bronx Zoo, they had all the best players, Reggie Jackson, Ron Guidry, all the greatest players. And they always were just beating up on the Orioles. Orioles was there, but they could never get by them. Football, we still have to, even though I was probably only 2 when this happened, when they lost the Super Bowl to the Jets. For Baltimoreans of my father's age, they don't want to see the highlights of that because that's a painful reminder that we lost the first Super Bowl to an AFL team. And, even the Bullets lost to the Knicks and all that other stuff. And so I just hate. And then when I went to college, you're around all these New Yorkers, the world don't exist if it ain't from New York. And so I'm from New York, son. What y'all got down there, son? The Orioles ain't won no games. We got 20 championships, son. I mean, what you talking about? Word. Y'all can do this. Word. Do you see what the Yankees is doing? You see what Reggie's doing? And then when I was in school, the Mets were hot. Now, you had to really just be a New Yorker. Nobody in New York likes the Mets. It's all Yankees. But you had these, because the Mets were winning, all of these New York guys changed their allegiance from Yankees to the Mets. So it's all about Darryl Strawberry, son. Dr. K, son, with a good one. Oh, my God. So, yeah, it made me hate New York sports teams more. Okay? I loved y'all music. I loved y'all women. It was great. Y'all, even some of y'all was real cool. But yeah, this made me hate the sports teams more.
Let me give you my honorable mentions, and then I'm gonna give you my last shocking one.
Okay.
All right, here's my honorable mentions. Jamal Murray, fuck you. I'm glad you're not in the finals because you killed my Lakers the past couple years.
Leave Jamal Murray alone.
Fuck Jamal Murray. Jose Batista, I'm glad you got punched in your face a couple years ago because you's a bitch. Adam Jones don't like you either. Dustin Pedroia, fuck you, Dustin. No, fuck that little short piece of shit Boston Red Sox ass nigga that was nice as shit and killing. Yeah. That's why Manny Machado slid into your ass, right. even though Machado
his career.
Yeah, Machado was wrong for that. And Machado almost made my list too because you's a dirty player, son.
Machado,
but fuck Dustin Pedroia. Lennox Wood. Fuck you, Lennox. I don't like your British ass. Fuck you, Lennox Lewis. I can't stand
Ain't no Lennox Lewis.
Fuck Lennox Lewis, yo. Because Lennox Lewis was always like, I would like to fight Mike Tyson in his prime. I think I could have beaten. He beat Mike Tyson up when he was an old ass man. Fuck you, Lennox Lewis. I don't like him. Fuck Tommy Hearns because your motherfucking Jerry Carroll used to splash all over the motherfucking ring and shit.
Tommy Hearns ain't even beat nobody.
But he had a Jerry Carroll that I couldn't stand and smiling. And then when he was on Martin, he told Gina, baby, if you want to roll with us, you can just come on and roll with us. Fuck Tommy Hearns. You ain't had to do that to Martin face.
That's your boyfriend, little man over there.
Fuck Arnold Palmer because your old ass did not invent the lemonade and iced tea. It is the fucking big mix up here in Baltimore. Fuck Arnold Palmer.
You gonna stop?
I don't like Arnold Palmer ass either.
You just don't like him because of the lemonade iced tea mix?
Jack Nicklaus for life. Fuck Arnold Palmer. And this is the athlete that I hate the most. And this is going to be very shocking, but I will admit this has nothing to do with his on the field play. It has everything to do with after he retired. Ray Lewis, you can kiss my ass.
You know what? I contemplated putting Ray Lewis on my list.
Fuck you, Ray. Listen, when you are Baltimore Raven and actually playing on the field, you are a god, son. We loved you. As soon as you got off the field, I don't know what kind of fucking you thought you was a motivational speaker. I'm going to give you that. But you are not an intellectual or whatever the fuck you think you are trying to tell people how to live. And nigga, you
gotta have it within you, Calvin.
Nigga.
You gotta have that.
Hey, Ray.
Winning power, Calvin.
Nigga, Ray, either you a murderer or you a snitch. You one or the other. You one or the other.
This is the greatest linebacker to ever play the game.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Like, he
didn't snitch. He told. Snitch is where you hiding. I send you somewhere.
I hate the non-Raven Ray Lewis. I hate that motherfucker. I can't.
When you gotta go and hide. When you tell, you can just do it right there and people know.
I'm so glad ESPN fired his ass because I got sick of him. My God. I got sick of hearing it from him. And hold on. Remember when Ray Lewis kneeled, but he wasn't kneeling. I was praying. I knew right then and there it was over.
Yeah,
it was over for me and Ray. Ray.
Ray was with Steve Harvey and Jim Brown when Trump won the presidency. They were trying to get the stuff for Black America. So let's not forget that.
Fuck you, non-Raven Ray Lewis.
And you know what? I'm gonna throw one on top into that. It's not an athlete, but Robert Irsay. You can rot in hell.
Yeah, fuck Robert Irsay. I guess anybody listening from Cleveland would be like, "Oh, don't forget Art Modell." The guy. Remember, the guy got arrested. The guy got arrested for pissing on Art Modell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Robert Irsay. You can rot. Where's your grave? And so I can go piss on that.
Anyway, that's the list. That's the people we hate. Let us know who you hate. You might got somebody in there that you hate that I know people hate Kobe. Kobe's dead. Rest in peace. Kobe is probably my favorite player ever, but there are a lot of people that couldn't stand Kobe. My wife is not a Kobe Bryant fan. She did not celebrate his death, but she is not a Kobe Bryant fan.
Kobe, he didn't snitch. He told on people too. So.
No, Kobe, yeah. That's so every now and then, even the people that you like do something. Even I was like, Kobe, you can't be Kobe.
Kobe was like, I should do what Shaq does. Shaq pays his girls.
You can't do Kobe. You can't be
Kobe. What?
You can't be Kobe.
Kobe's like, yeah, I know I should have did what Shaq does.
You can't
Shaq plays his girls.
When Shaq came out with his rap song and asked Kobe how his ass tastes, I was like, yeah, I get it, Shaq.
I said Diddy wanted to remake that for Meek Mill. My ass tastes. Come on, man. We gotta get the Come On Yo.
Are we on Come On Yo yet?
Yeah, we here.
Who going first?
I go first. Come on, yo. It's not really a come on, yo, but it's it's a come on, yo, Donald Trump. Congratulations. 34 counts of guilty. Congratulations. You've done it. You've done it. But unfortunately, come on, yo, white America, MAGA peoples. Although this man has been convicted of a crime, they still gonna vote for him, Calvin. This ain't over. It ain't over. It ain't over. And that's the crazy part. If this is a black man, it'd be over. It'd be like, oh no, disqualify him. They had made up a new rule. But they were quick to point out that although he has been convicted, he is still eligible to run for the presidency. And he's already said it himself because he's showing his old little flat white ass. He's basically saying, hey, we'll see what they say on November the 9th. That's when the real verdict is coming in. That's what he said. That's when the real verdict's coming in. So I'll see you in November when the real verdict is read. So Calvin, he's still in play. He raised $34 million in 6 hours after that verdict. White people love raising money for white people who do bad stuff. Like when Kyle Rittenhouse killed those two Black Lives Matter protesters, they raised over $6 million for him. When the guy killed, oh my God, why I want to forget the first one in Florida, Trayvon Martin. When he killed Trayvon Martin, they raised several $1 million for his defense fund. And so, yeah, white people love raising money when people do bad stuff. And so we'll see what happens. But come on, yo. Get yourselves together.
Hey, it's funny you picked Donald Trump because guess who else picked Donald Trump for their come on, yo. Come on, yo. Let me play this for Donald Trump. Donald, this is you. This is you, Donald.
She shouldn't be allowed to run. If she were to win this election, it would create an unprecedented constitutional crisis. In that situation, we could very well have a sitting president under felony indictment and ultimately a criminal trial.
That was Donald Trump talking about trying to get Hillary Clinton convicted in 2016 when he was running. Excuse me, Donald. Sir, going by your own words, you shouldn't even be qualified. You shouldn't be running. You should pull out of the race because you are now convicted on 34. Is that what we said, Garland? 34? 34 felony convictions.
I don't remember that, Calvin.
How can we have a sitting president that is a felon? I mean, those are your words, sir. Come on, Donald. Come on. And another thing, MAGA people, you all want this to go to the Supreme Court, but you forget, you all love state rights. This was a state conviction. It ain't going to the Supreme Court that he rigged in his favor. This is going to the New York Court of Appeals, which then there's this video going around that shows that the Court of Appeal has 5 black women, but it's not quite accurate because the Court of Appeals in New York is 20-something judges. 5 of them happen to be black women, and they always pick 5 to go to the appeals cases. And the likelihood of them picking all 5 black women isn't very likely. So we doubt if it's going to be that way. But still, it's going to go to the New York State of Appeals. It doesn't go to the Supreme Court. He's not going to see
the inside of a jail.
Well, so this is what I'll say. And come on, Donald, you keep running your mouth about the judge that is going to sentence you in July. If I were you, I would keep my mouth shut. Stop talking about the judge that is going to sentence you in July.
That only happens to black people. Now,
but I do believe. And now I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say this.
I like Bill Cosby, but Bill Cosby was a millionaire, and they put his black ass in jail.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why Donald Trump ain't going to jail.
Put Donald jail
now, and clearly, I'm not a Donald Trump fan. These are nonviolent crimes, and these are his first 34 convicted offenses, because it ain't his first offense. It's his first convicted offenses. So the likelihood is he will not go into jail. They're nonviolent crimes. Likelihood is, even if he was just Donald Jacobson, he probably wouldn't go to jail on it. Right. So you know what I mean? I'm not going to act like he should go to jail. Do I want him to go to jail? Absolutely. Sure. At least spend 30 days in jail. But if you keep talking about the judge, I think the judge needs to go ahead and put his ass in jail at least a week. Put your ass in jail at least a week, because you keep running your mouth about me. So come on, yo. Come on, Donald Trump.
If they put him in jail, white people going to lose their mind, and they really going to raise some money. They really going to get out and vote.
We're gonna be in for a fight. They're gonna try to break him out. They're gonna try to bust him out of jail in the next minute. So,
in the words of Donald, grab him in the pussy. And so,
but yeah, come on, yo. Come on, Donald. Come on, yo. You a bitch. Let me just say that. And I hate you too. I wish you were an athlete, because you would have been my only person on the list. Fuck Donald. You know what? Fuck Trump as a record label, a crew, and if you support Donald Trump, fuck you too. Did y'all get y'all sneakers yet? Y'all get y'all Donald Trump sneakers?
Bro, don't play with me. Don't play. I already told you I'm stomping them things on sight. I better not ever see them on somebody's feet.
They supposed to be delivered in June and July, something like that. So they're supposed to be delivered soon. But anyway, hey, another great show. We actually went a little long. We tried to keep it an hour under, but
y'all
we had to
go.
Y'all needed to know that Arnold Palmer, we don't like that. But we got the mix up here. I see lemonade. Y'all needed to know that. Hey man, we still gotta do the show. What you waiting for, Garland? Garland, have you even watched
it? And every time I watch 1 minute of it, I just get so disgusted. I changed the channel. I swear, I'm gonna try to watch it tonight.
You gotta catch up. You 4 episodes behind. You gotta watch it, man. You gotta watch.
Burn my soul. The couple seconds that I watched of it, I was just like.
You gotta watch.
Now I saw a clip. Now Emmett got a brother he just met. Calvin, we 6 years in.
Listen.
Calvin, we 6 years in.
What's
and
his
he
name?
just
Donnell
had other kids
out there getting it, son.
They talking about, y'all the same age. He just meet. All right, yo.
Hey, another great show. We definitely thank you for joining us. We are live on YouTube right now. You can catch us on all the podcast platforms. And if you have Spotify, you get to see our faces with the anger and disdain that I talked about Ray Lewis and Garland talked about Michael Jordan. I still don't. The Michael Jordan thing just blew me. He did not say that, y'all. Anyway, let me
Michael
hit this.
Jordan don't even like children, y'all.
He did not say that. Michael Jordan did not say that. Thank y'all for joining us.
You have been listening.
Definitely be back next week.
It's like, Mike, your shoes are too expensive.
And written by Calvin.
Shouldn't you lower them? Kids are being shot for them.
Black production.
Bro.
Follow us on all of your
Mike did not say that. Later, Garland.
Peace, man.